What is going on, YouTube, and welcome back to the JDW Sports Talk Show, where every fan is welcome. And today, in this video, we're going to be talking about the New York Giants and giving you my honest opinions on some of their offseason pickups, some of their biggest pickups. Kenny Golladay, Kadarius Toney, Dory Jackson, players along those lines, and just a few players that they signed. So let's get into it. And if you want to suggest videos in the future, like Gold4307 did in my Discord, make sure to join that Discord. The Discord link is in the channel tags, so go up into the channel tags and click the Discord, or just go to the About if you're on mobile and click Discord and join the Discord so you can suggest future videos and be involved in Hot Take Tuesdays and many other events that we do on that Discord server. So first we're going to go through the draft players. I want to talk about Kadarius Toney a bit. I really like Kadarius Toney. I think he's a really good player. I think he's got solid hands. He is a really solid route runner. And I'm excited to see him come into the NFL and see what he's going to do with the Giants. Now, in the first round, Kadarius Toney, I especially question, what his volume share is going to be like for a first rounder. That was my biggest downfall to this pick because, they signed a guy in Kenny Golladay, who we're going to talk about later. They signed a guy in John Ross, who we're going to talk about later. They have Darius Slayton, Shep, and they do have some weapons at tight end in Evan Ingram, Kyle Rudolph, and then running back, of course, they have Booker. Who else do they have? Barkley. I almost forgot Barkley. Just had a brainwash there, but yeah, man, what is his volume share going to be? Is he going to be running those screens? Sweeps, just kind of like a gadget player. And if that's what he's going to be, is that really worth a first rounder? In my opinion, not really, but he is nonetheless a very talented wide receiver. And why not put as many weapons as you can around your guy, Daniel Jones, to see if he clicks with someone? I think that's a great way to do it. But at the same time, you are taking some risks and you're putting it all in for a guy that you're really not sure of, and who has really not shown much. But I like this pick nonetheless, giving your young guy as many weapons as you can. That's a solid look right there, but just his volume share for a first rounder may not be there. That's my biggest downfall. That's my biggest con of that pick. And then you go to the second round pick. Azeez Ali. I really liked Azeez Ali. He was considered a late first rounder for me. And with his knee injury, with his knee problems, he slid. And I think, if he was healthy, I think the Giants could have taken him at the number 20 pick. Or the number 20 pick. I think they could have, most definitely. But would they have still if Toney was there? I don't think so. I think Toney was their guy all the way right there. So Azeez is a really explosive edge rusher or he was in college. I apologize for my stuttering, but Azeez was a steal from where the Giants got him, and I think that the Giants needed some edge rush, or an edge presence at least. Leonard Williams is a really good inside guy. Dexter Lawrence is a really good inside guy, but they do run this specific scheme where, 3 down linemen, 4 linebackers, stuff like that. So, I think Azeez was a really good pickup for that, and man, I'm really excited to see Azeez get to work with some of these defensive linemen and just some of the players on this team. And then you go to Aaron Robinson, the cornerback out of UCF. I think this dude was an underrated player coming out of the draft. I think he has good physicality. I think he's a pretty darn good player for the slot. I think he's going to be a good player with the New York Giants. So let me know what you guys think about him. Don't have too much to say about him. Just that's really it. So, and an under-the-radar offseason move that people don't seem to talk about. People forget to talk about the trade backs and stuff for the offseason moves. And one of my favorite offseason moves for the Giants was that trade back where they got the extra first-round pick for next year. That was amazing, and people aren't talking about that enough. I really like that when they did that with the Bears. The Bears traded up, get their guy in Justin Fields, all that shenanigans. So I'm really happy that the Giants traded back. They still got a really good receiver. They still got a really good guy, in their opinion. So that's all I really got for the draft. And then you go to the free agents. The likes of Kenny Golladay, the likes of Azeez Ali. No, Kenny Golladay, John Ross, Kyle Rudolph, Dory Jackson, and there are a few others, but those are the main top 4 in my opinion. And Kenny Golladay, we're going to start at the top with Kenny Golladay. what was it, like a 4 year, $72 million. That's a lot of money for a receiver that he's been coming off a few seasons where he has struggled to stay healthy, and at the beginning of training camp, he's having injury problems again, which is pretty scary for how much they paid him. But nonetheless, I think this was a really good pickup because, Kenny Golladay isn't really a separator. He can't separate at all. But as long as you put the ball in his vicinity, he's going to go up and make that big catch. He's going to get the ball. You just got to drop the ball in his vicinity, in his catch range, and he's going to catch it. And he's going to catch it. He's just an amazing jump ball guy. He's an amazing physical wide receiver. Um, I really like the signing. See if Daniel Jones connects with him and just, makes a nice dynamic duo there. And then you have John Ross, another wide receiver that was signed by the New York Giants. I thought this was a really nice signing as well. John Ross was a speedster, top 10 a top 10 pick a few years ago, or no, he was like 10th or 11th. And man, I really want to see him stay healthy and work on those hands. He's got he's got a lot of work to do if he wants to show that he can be a valuable asset to an offense or a valuable asset to a team in any way. Whether it's a gadget player and sweeps, screens, small stuff like that. If he can't handle the big stuff, he's got to get the small stuff down before he gets to that big stuff. I think that's his problem, but nonetheless, a speedster to give Daniel Jones another weapon. I guess you can't go wrong. Giving a former really talented first round pick a chance to prove himself, another chance. And then you have the third weapon that they signed in Kyle Rudolph, who is an amazing red zone option. He is a touchdown machine in the red zone. Another big body for Daniel Jones to work with. That's awesome for Daniel Jones because he has struggled. So those big bodies, those veterans are definitely going to help him out. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see what this offense has in store with them. Kyle Rudolph is a solid blocker. He's a solid all-around player. That was a really good pickup as well to have a good, solid tight end duo with Ingram and Rudolph. I just hope that Evan Ingram can show some consistency. And then you go to the defensive side of the ball. There's one big signing that I really look into the most, and this is Adoree Jackson. Now, am I a fan of this signing? Absolutely not for what they gave him in the length. Tennessee Titans, a former first-round pick for the Tennessee Titans. He has struggled with staying healthy, staying consistent. He's just a player that, has to find the fundamentals again. Kind of like John Ross. But instead, this player, Adoree Jackson, he had one decent year. But he still didn't put it all together that year. I need to see, before I give a player a 3-year, $39 million deal like that, I need to see that player put a full season together, which I have never seen from Adoree Jackson. I've never seen him put a full season together, and he has got to do that. He's got to. Especially for the money that he got. And you're going to give a player that has struggled all this money, and, I'm not saying he's this kind of guy, but some players, they're not going to work as hard. Especially for when they've struggled to stay healthy. Now, I'm not saying Adoree is not a hard worker. I'm not saying that whatsoever. Adoree is a very hard worker. It's just that my point is, I would give him a 1-year, $13 million year and tell him to go do his thing. Go show us what you can do. And if he doesn't stay healthy, and if he doesn't do what you expect from him, oh well, it's a 1-year deal. There's no long-term repercussions. But this 3-year, $39 million year, say he has one really bad year again, and he's a liability, you're paying $39 million to a liability on your team who's going to be losing you games and not winning you games and struggling to stay healthy. That's my problem with that signing. But nonetheless, the Giants did have a solid offseason. I really like a lot of the pickups. Kenny Golladay, of course. Adoree Jackson, not so much. The draft, I think they did very well with Kadarius Toney, Azeez Ali, Aaron Robinson. And there are a few others that I did like, but I just went over the biggest ones here, and I'm really excited for this Giants team. I just want to see them to come together because I heard this team has not been getting along in practice. That's for another video, but let me know what you guys think about this Giants team. I thank you for tuning in to the JDW Sports Talk Show, where everything is welcome. And as always, I will catch you guys in the next video. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button to not miss any future videos. And that's it for today's video. Once again, thank you for tuning in.